right wing, good. Dively leaking out.
As a former player at St. Mary's College and a meticulous student of the game, it's no secret that Coach Bernson brings a unique skill set to the George Washington women's volleyball program. Wins, conference championships, and NCAA tournament appearances are all things that clutter her impressive resume. A former assistant coach at American University, she now joins the Colonials as the head coach of the women's program. Coach, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I have to ask, what school's better, American or George Washington?
Oh, is school as a whole?
School as a whole and the volleyball program.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You have
Sure,
to do it.
Sure. I think school as a whole, George Washington, with the depth of the programming and the outreach that it does, it can just cover a wider breadth of students and their academic interests. Volleyball-wise, we're pretty close right now, although American has a really strong history of success, and that's something that we hope to start to build and get that ourselves, but they've got the edge on us on history of success.
Now, what originally drew you to GW as a program?
Well, when recruiting for American and being part of their universities and volleyball program, there's things that, oh shucks moments, like recruiting a kid who wanted engineering, oh shucks, we didn't really have engineering, or those kind of moments. And that's the nice thing about GW is that it's in DC. It's similar in some ways, but it has more. So I can recruit a wider range of student athletes that can help make our program better because things are already built in here as a university.
Now, at American, you had 136 wins, 4 straight NCAA tournament appearances, and multiple Patriot League championships. What contributed to that success, and how are you going to bring those things to the GW team?
Sure. A big part of that was the team culture. Barry Goldberg has been there 29 years, so a long time. So it's consistency with leadership. So I hope to have that here, and that's my goal, is to have a long tenure here and to build that program of expectations and building a good team with this group and in this program. The other part is just recruiting students. There's a long history of international recruits there, and I hope to continue that. GW has that here as well. So bringing the right talent that fit the school and help us build a really strong program.
Now, you mentioned culture, and what components of your system that you're trying to implement at GW, what do you think are those keys?
Independent thinking and making decisions in critical moments. It's an active live sport. You're moving multiple directions, and so you can't just run one play the same way all the time. There's so many different variables. So the ability to think on your feet, analyze the play that's in front of you, and execute in a way that allows you to score points. This game is about scoring points. You have to score 25 at least a set to win a set, and then hopefully the match. So we've got to find a way to score points. So being creative in our thought process and being really diligent with execution.
And what has the transition been like going from an assistant coach to a head coach of a D1 program?
Well, I've been head coach before, so that certainly helped. I think some of the I wonder how I'll be is gone because I've been a head coach before, so I kind of had that experience already. So coming into it a second time, I'm more confident in my decision-making ability and the train of thought I want to go and the culture I want to create. So there's much more assuredness in how I'm approaching things second time around.
Now, what's something that you do differently with regards to player development that other coaches don't do?
That's a good question, and I'm very technical, and so that's a big part of how I teach, is going over the mechanics and why we do it, and talking about the situations and having an understanding. So I am hard on them in regards to them working on the mechanics and being diligent with that part, but then I'm also balancing that with the understanding of why they're doing it. So I would say the kind of communication and understanding that goes into being partnered with, the technique aspect of it.
And then also you mentioned recruiting. So what kind of prospective player are you looking to bring to the GW program?
It's just pieces that fit with the program. So, I mean, right now We need some size to try to get a little bit stronger in our height and our ability to play above the net. Our ball control could be a little bit better, so working with that. So it's seeing what we have and trying to grow the game in areas that need improvement. We've got some quick athletes right now and very studious and driven athletes. So that's not something where I need to recruit right now, but definitely going with some height and dynamic ability above the net is what I'm looking for to add to the program in the next couple of years.
And there's an immense amount of talent already on the team. So what things has impressed you the most about those players?
Their commitment to the game and to the team and the school. They're all very involved. They know that this program has been successful in the Atlantic 10 before, and they really want it to be that way again. So I don't have to do a lot of motivating. It's more about directing and channeling their intent. And so that's where we're kind of growing. We're growing our game and trying to be a good team. So they didn't have such success last year, and so we're having to build a team. And that's new for everybody, for us as a new staff and for this group to have to build a team. And that's what this season is about, is building a good team.
Kelsey Clark, Jamison Lee, Alexis Letty, they have distinguished themselves as leaders on the court. So what have you seen from them so far this year that has made them so prominent in the season?
Their willingness to go hard. They really will dive all over the court and do what needs to be done. Their interaction with each other, they're really emotionally engaged with one another and what it means to them to be successful and to drag their teammates along with them. So they're very connected to one another, and they're also skilled, which is a good balance to have for them. And I'm just trying to kind of give them a lane where they can run really fast and be successful.
Now, with 11 losses on the season thus far, what hasn't been translating into the success of the program?
It's consistency. We've had to change lineups quite a bit. Some of it is just on situation and timing, whether a player's been hurt or other variables that have came in, maybe not made a player available. So our lineup has constantly been ebbing and flowing in regards to who's starting and what kind of situation lineup we're doing. So consistency has been kind of an Achilles heel for us, as well as some unforced errors. And they're adapting to a new system. And we came in with a specific system that we're implementing, so it's new to them. So they're getting used to that, and we're just having to work on our execution and cut down the unforced errors.
And now that you're in the Atlantic 10 Conference, is there any matchup that you're looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to the VCU-Davidson matchups, that traveling partner weekend, because they were middle of the conference last year. And I think that's going to be a good barometer to see where we are. Last year, GW finished 7th, just out of the 6 that go to the Atlantic 10 tournament at the end of the season. So that weekend, I think, is a good test to see where we are. In first half of the league, we're still working things out, so we want to really hit our stride the second half of the conference. So I think that weekend's going to be a big weekend for us.
And would you say that your players have a chip on their shoulder, being one of the more underrated teams in the Atlantic 10 right now?
I don't know if it's a chip. I think it's a determination. They want to be better, and they know the team has been better, and they certainly feel capable. So it's a determination to get better, and they know that it's up to us. We're the ones that have to make the effort and put the proof out on the court and get the W's.
And with 16 matches under your belt so far, which moment of the season is best representative of your team as a whole?
I thought the Delaware match was a strong match. It was 5 sets. It was long. We played well at times, struggled at other times, but we really found our way through it, and we had to battle some tight situations. I think that carried over to just last weekend, where we were behind by quite a few points at LaSalle and ended up coming back and win. We shouldn't have put ourselves in that position, but it just shows our composure to come back and get that win. But I think the Delaware match really is the one that kind of gave us something to build upon.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.